You know, guys, it seems that 2017 has been kind of a strange year, huh? But, well, it's all coming to a close now. What do you guys want for Christmas?
I always wanted a whip. It would make some night hunts a little easier. Or maybe a new cologne. What about you?
I was going to ask for bacon-flavored crickets again, but, nothing beats chocolate-covered ants.
Well, my Christmas list this year is about a mile long. By the way, have you guys noticed that M. Crew Dude hasn't really been himself lately?
Yeah, I know. He's been awful quiet lately and just kept to himself. I mean, we went trick-or-treating, but, he barely said a word afterwards.
Oh, hey, man. Why haven't you been yourself lately? Seriously. If you really want to know, I've just been living my life in stress, I'm starting to think it's high time that I just put an end to it and move on to the next big thing.
I'm sorry, Dad. If there's anything we can do for you, just say the word.
Now, hold on. Are you sure this is the kind of thing you want to do, M. Crew Dude? I mean, I know how you feel. There were times when I wanted to give up monster hunting, but, I pulled through and kept going. Yeah, I've been thinking about this for a long time now. I kept putting things off just because I couldn't bring myself to actually do anything else. That's why we haven't bought a tree yet. That reminds me. Gary, can you please take care of the baking? Threefer, get a list together, and later on, Zeke, you and I will have to go get a tree, okay? In the meantime, I'm gonna reapply for college and say goodbye to everybody. Well, now, M. Crew Dude, if you want to put an end to things, I think we should do it right. We've all been involved in your reviews for a while, so I'm thinking, why don't we look at something nostalgic? All of us together. I think that sounds like a good idea, Threefer. What do you think? I actually think that's a really great idea. Come on, I have the perfect movie for us. I'm so glad we can spend Christmas together again. Me too. At least we can watch a holiday movie in peace without getting shoved into a bag this time.
Agreed. So, Dad, what did you ask Alex for this Christmas?
I honestly haven't given it much thought, but I guess all things considered, I already got my happiness and good friends to celebrate with. I asked for the same thing. Oh, and one of those Amazon voice-controlled Alexa things. Anyways, let's review the Santa Claus Brothers. Hello everybody, this is the M. Crew Dude, along with Zeke, Threefer, and Gary, and I hope you're having a very good Christmas, and how many of you actually remember the Santa Claus Brothers? We're really dating ourselves with this one. This movie was first aired on television in 2001 on the Disney Channel, and as far as I know, it hasn't made many returns. DVD releases are very limited, but it does hold a special nostalgic place for those who actually remember it.
I've never heard of this movie before, but it looks really weird. You said this is a good movie?
Yes, I promise you it's good. Let's just watch it and I'll show you. The film begins with Bryan Cranston as Santa? Holy crap, I totally forgot about that. So Santa explains that one day when he traded up for a luxury sleigh, he met his wife. After they got married, they had triplets who were birthed fresh from the womb with full beards for some reason. Well, Santa and Mrs. Claus were married for a century after all. So Santa's sons are the fun-loving Daryl, voiced by Harland Williams, the number-crunching paper pusher named Roy, voiced by Richard Kind, who would later go on to voice Bing Bong from Inside Out, and the small toy enthusiast named Mel, voiced by Kevin McDonald, who's probably best known as the voice of Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch. So Santa explains that he plans to retire someday, so the responsibility of Christmas will be handed over to one of his 3 sons. The only problem is that none of them fully understand the true values of Christmas. I'd also like to point out that you might assume that I would make fun of the cheap animation, but I'm actually fine with it. Animation can still look good if it's stylized okay, which this is. I've seen films that poorly translated hand-drawn images into a cartoon, or were simply straight up lazy, but here, it's actually consistent enough to have its own identity. Well, sometimes the backgrounds look like floating slabs, but still. Santa doesn't believe that his sons are ready to become the next Santa, and expresses his concerns to one of the head elves named Snorkel, voiced by Joe Flattery. Gee, he's wearing black and red and has a voice like Peter Lorre, so he must be the bad guy. Snorkel's main plan is to take over as Santa and recreate the workshop in a modern fashion to create a more productive operation, all the while charging small service fees. Seems like a good goal to me.
You can't be serious.
With an increase in population, the workshop would need better technology to keep up with the demand. Besides, they need profit in order to sustain themselves. Come on, Santa is the wealthiest person in the world. He doesn't need to make a profit. Besides, it's better to selflessly give than to expect stuff in return. You would make a better entrepreneur, though. So Santa talks to his wife Bernice about the future of Christmas, but she still has faith that her sons will succeed. I should also say that she's voiced by Caroline Rhea, who's best known as Hilda Spellman from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Why does Sabrina keep popping up in my life? Later that day, Santa decides to send the boys on a quest into the real world so they can better understand Christmas values, much to Snorkel's frustration.
Oh, come on, boys. This is the chance of a lifetime. This'll put you over the top. You'll be riding down Santa Claus Lane.
But Snorkel, we've never even been to the real world before.
Obviously, they don't have much confidence as they have never flown in the sleigh, nor have they met actual people. Snorkel believes that the best place to begin the search is in Santa Monica, California.
Santa Monica?
What's that?
Well, it's a city with Santa in its name.
Along with Santa Barbara, Santa Ana, Santa Fe Springs, Santa Cruz, and there's even a town called Santa Claus in Indiana. That night, Snorkel sabotages the quest by telling Mel that the real meaning of Christmas is to make the perfect toy, to Roy, the perfect number, and to Daryl, the perfect party. So the next morning, they take the sleigh with no flying training, and eventually end up in Santa Monica. You know, coming from somebody who has been to Santa Monica, I'm really surprised that they don't feature the iconic pier. Maybe it was a copyright issue or they didn't have the animation budget?
Or maybe it was peer pressure.
You guys have a lot to learn about comedy.
Hey, it's a lot bigger than it was on the map.
Yep.
What, are they waiting for a laugh track?
Hey, it's a lot bigger than it was on the map.
Yep.
And we need to learn about comedy?
You think the sleigh will be all right here?
I don't think we're gonna have to worry about it getting buried in the snow.
Nah, in California, it's mostly vandals, police, and stoners you need to worry about. Oh, and speaking of which...
What's going on? Get your hands off! This is private property! An alien!
And he's got a probe.
Yeesh. Get a little car sick and suddenly you're from Mars.
So the elf, whose name is Busby, calls Snorkel, who tells him to hide the sleigh to prevent the boys from returning. Mel, Roy, and Daryl split up and try to talk to people to understand their viewpoints on Christmas. Mel goes into a toy store to look for ideas on how to create the perfect toy, but quickly gets mobbed by kids. After he escapes, he still has no idea on how to create this dream toy until he comes across a homeless man named Bert, who then takes him to the shiniest junk pile in existence.
Hey guys, this is Mel. He's gonna be the next Santa Claus. You know, that's an amazing coincidence, because Frank here is gonna be the next King of France. Bonjour.
Congratulations?
Just go along with it. He had a rough childhood.
The perfect toy, huh? I wish I'd known about that a few years ago.
Why? Are you a designer?
Nah, but I used to be a grandpa.
Really? You don't look a day over 200.
Thanks.
What do you mean, used to be?
It's a long story. Let's just say they don't come over to my house for Christmas dinner anymore.
Well, Bert, this is gonna solve all your gift-giving problems.
That's really something, kid.
So Mel's toy, as well as his dreams, literally blow up in his face. Well, it's a good thing the others were standing the perfect distance away. Good lord, did he fill it with nitroglycerin or something?
So then the alien tried to abduct us with its force field ray. And there you have it. Aliens in Santa Monica. Stay tuned for our round-the-clock coverage. Jim?
I'm not sure my profile is quite low enough.
Yes, aliens are invading, so be sure to check your pipes, your bottles, and especially your bongs for any further evidence. Meanwhile, Roy is out gathering statistics until he is found by a little girl, who then shows him around to help him collect data better.
Oh, this is your room?
I gotta share my room with my two sisters, so I spend my time in here, or on the roof.
What's the matter? You don't like your sisters?
They're little. They get in the way. I wanted to be an only child.
Two sisters unliked.
Why do you keep writing stuff down?
'Cause I'm gathering data.
You're some kind of scientist? I thought you said you were Santa.
I'm going to be Santa. But I have to find the meaning of Christmas first.
Well, school's out, but yeah, I know I could find you some kids.
The girl then brings Roy to a playground to ask some random survey questions to the kids.
Look at this! Santa's playing with the baby!
Actually, I estimate their median age as 7.9 years.
Oh, a smart Santa!
Yeah, let's beat him up and not call the police.
You had better be careful, or I will put you on the naughty list.
Shouldn't have said that.
So after they lose the bullies who appear to be suffering from same face syndrome, Roy then explains to the girl why he is so obsessed with numbers.
I don't know. I guess it's just the way I think about things. Like now, all I can think about is that I have one mom and one dad and two brothers, and how my mom gave us each one music box last Christmas, and each box played one song, and mine was the 12 Days of Christmas because she knows that's my favorite, and how my mom gives me an average of 4.3 hugs a day, and my dad and I lose 8.2 balls every time we play golf in the snow, and my brothers and I stay up too late 2.1 times a week, and we laugh 37.9 times each before we fall asleep.
How can some of this data have decimal points? Seriously, how is he calculating? So Roy gives up his search as well, while Busby is busy hiding the sleigh in a storage unit called Store You Stuff, which I guess is the kind that doesn't ask questions.
So, like, how do you want to pay for your locker?
Do you take candy canes?
Dude, I love those.
What? No questions asked. You can store whatever you want at Store You Stuff, when a guy I know at the liquor store kicks me out for trying to pay using the penny dish. Following Daryl, he comes across a teenage filmmaker who has hit some hard times.
Why the long face?
I'm getting old.
It happens.
You don't understand. I'm a filmmaker.
A what?
I was a boy genius. I started making music videos at 8 for a boy band. Made my first movie at 11. Now I'm 13, and everyone wants a 9-year-old.
Wow, way to take them in while they're young and impressionable. So the filmmaker decides to put on Daryl's party and feature it on his father's network, but what Daryl doesn't understand is that the whole thing is just a film set.
When do I get my script? No script. This is improv. Reality TV.
Reality TV? Actual, authentic reality TV? Pfft, that's ridiculous. So the film doesn't work out, nor does Daryl find the meaning of Christmas. Or the meaning of that show, for that matter. Well, there's a chance they could still find the perfect product placement. So the boys regroup all empty-handed and realize that they are now stranded without a way to get home.
Busby, have you hidden the sleigh?
Yeah, but it's gonna be dark soon. When do you want me to head back?
January.
What?
It's a disaster, Busby. I've worked my fingers to the bone today, but I just haven't been able to convince Santa and Mrs. Claude to give up on those boys. I think this'll do the trick, though.
But with no sleigh, Santa can't deliver the presents.
Sure, some kids will be unhappy this year, but once Santa's reputation is ruined, it'll be easy to do a hostile takeover and rebuild the organization from the ground up with me in charge.
Say it with me. What kind of sense does that make? So, he wants to destroy the company reputation so that he can take it over and rebuild it under his vision? How exactly is that a good business strategy? Any thoughts now, Threefer? No, man. I'm not gonna get involved in this one. So Santa believes that something is wrong since the boys haven't returned yet, so he and Bernice go out to Santa Monica to find them.
It's Dad!
It really is Dad.
We're safe!
I don't understand it. She never gave me a lick of trouble.
So even though none of the boys understand Christmas any more than they did from the start, Santa is at least glad that they are all together on Christmas and they go into town as the celebration begins.
Wow. I guess Snorkel was right. Santa Monica does have Christmas spirit to spare.
We were watching the stuff about the alien invasion, and then we changed the channel and saw your TV special. It totally changed our lives. Yeah,
It did?
especially the part about looking in somebody's eyes and seeing the magic of Christmas. And then, when they took apart the set at the end, and we just stood there looking sad. It was totally about how we don't need a lot of stuff to have a great time. We just need, like, the joy in our hearts.
Mel, I was afraid I wouldn't see you again. Oh, hey, since you're here, Merry Christmas.
Thanks. What are they?
Perfect Christmas toys. Me and the boys started making them after you left. Oh, we've been giving them out all over town.
Oh, that's great. What do they do?
It isn't what they do that makes them perfect. It's the fact that we made them ourselves. Thanks, buddy. Gotta go.
Glad I found you. You got my list?
Yeah. Well, about the whole present thing.
Forget it. I thought about what you said, you know? About counting your blessings. I don't need this stuff.
Counting your blessings?
You know, 1 mom, 2 brothers, 3 hugs. You were right. I'm even gonna share them with my sisters this Christmas.
Well, Nick, it looks like all of them found the meaning of Christmas.
What are you talking about? I didn't build the perfect toy.
I didn't find the perfect number.
My party wasn't even a real party.
Boys, the meaning of Christmas is in here.
She means it's inside you, and you spread it to all these people.
From there, the boys realize that their quest wasn't a failure after all, as everyone is spreading the meaning of Christmas by simply being happy with what they have and spending time with each other. They then come across Busby in the street, who then takes them home in the sleigh. Snorkel's plan is ruined, and Santa takes his family out to deliver toys on Christmas.
Well, Dad, I know you haven't been having a great year, so to make you feel better, we've all decided that next month we can have a vacation in California. Just the 4 of us.
Yeah, man. If there's one thing that we've learned from this movie is that people need to stop looking for absolute perfection and understand that good company is the best Christmas gift of all. Right you are. What I cherish so much about this movie is that it has great voice work, a good story, and a very heartwarming lesson that still remains timeless. I just wish that this movie was shown a little bit more often, and I know I went a little out of order with the events, but I still wanted to share something that I enjoyed as a kid and still respect now. Whether or not you liked the video, I still hope you're having a good holiday. As the M Crew Dude comes to a close, I just want to say, it's been a fun ride. I loved making you guys laugh and stuff, and I wish you all the best as I go back to school and grow as a person. This is the M Crew Dude, signing off for the last time, wishing you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Say, do you think there'll be any fan art of me?
I'm a world away from you. Here you are standing beside me. What's in your heart, I wish I knew. Maybe then I'd see an open space for me to turn around and take from me any chance to see the truth. Your doorway is nearly shut. Lock the chains and let me through. The pain you feel, I feel it too. Say the words and I will take it away from you. And I will be your hiding place, somewhere to rest and hide your face. I will be your hiding place, somewhere you can go. You're underwater and I'm staring down at you. So I reach out to take your hand, but reach much further down, then I'll be drowning too. So I'll just sit here and wait for you to swim back up. Don't you turn around and take from me any chance to see the truth. The doorway is nearly shut. Lock the chains and let me through. The pain you feel, I feel it too. Say the words and I will take it away from you. And I will be your hiding place, somewhere to rest and hide your face. I will be your hiding place, somewhere you can go. And I don't know how to love you this way anymore. It's you who has to choose if this is worth fighting for. And I will be your hiding place, somewhere to rest and hide your face. I will be your hiding place, somewhere you can go. I will be your hiding place, somewhere to rest and hide your face. I will be your hiding place, somewhere you can go.
I thought I might find you up here. Are you feeling okay, M. Crew? I've been okay, I guess. You know, sometimes there comes a time in my life where I just need to move on. You know, I'm proud of you. You've been through a lot, and I think it's great that you're actually taking time to improve yourself. Tell me, if not the show, then what are you gonna do now? Live.
Sometimes in our lives, we all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend.
You know, Dad, since you're going back to college, you've inspired me to apply.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah, I've even selected a major.
Awesome. What's your major?
Web design.